Hello, 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 everyone. Good afternoon, good night for you on India. Good morning for the friends in Canada, Brazil, and US, and other time zones in the world. So here today again to make a new streaming from the Liquid Galaxy community. And today we have a very special person with us. It's Alfredo Bautista. Hello, Alfredo.
Hi everyone, thank you for the invitation.
How are you, Alfredo, today?
I'm very good. I am in Malaga. It's very sunny day, so the weather is very good for December here in Malaga. So
There is no
yeah,
winter in Malaga. Always good
yeah,
weather.
yeah,
Very good.
yeah.
So for you guys that don't know Alfredo, Alfredo is joining us this year as mentor in the Liquid Galaxy community. He's a Google developer expert in Flutter, so you have the best for these guys. Plenty of you that want to make Flutter applications for the Liquid Galaxy, and he's an expert. We have other persons like Victor and so on, but Alfredo is already a very well recognized expert in the Spanish community and also in world community. So thank you, Alfredo, for coming today with us. And let me say a couple of things before you start your training. I want to share my screen to remember all the people there that we are gonna have. We're having plenty of other trainings, and this is not the only one we're doing for Flutter. So here is our website. Remember that all the information is always on the unique post for Google Summer of Code 2024 in the website. And here you will find always the different informations, news, and so on. The different videos we're streaming. Everything has to be found on this unique post. And you will find the different trainings sessions with many different persons from experts, mentors, and so on from our community that are doing those ones. Already we have developed 4. Today is our 5th, and we have still other 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6 or 7 sessions ready. There will be more. So please join us in the upcoming other sessions. Just go there, register for the session to get the streaming URL, and attend, because it's a training we do for you all to be trained for the Liquid Galaxy different technologies. Of course, not only Flutter. We love Flutter. Here's the dash also. Do you have your flash, Alfredo? We are not seeing it today. Here is my little one. You give me this. And so thank you very much. I was saying here is my dash, but I was sharing the other screen, so here is my dash. I'm sharing it correctly. And let me go back to another question. The other question I wanted to show you all is to reminder that we are starting the new community, the Flutter Jada community, that is local for Jada, but we are local. We have many different world communities, like the Liquid Galaxy community. You remember we are stay, Alfredo and me and other colleagues, we are on the GDG Spain and some other Google developer experts and many other different communities. But we have started just now, a few weeks ago, the Flutter Jada, that the only thing we have in this moment is the Twitter. Please go and follow us. We are starting to make some tweets, and here is the Alfredo's tweets announcing the session today. And join the Twitter to get information, and soon we will have other platforms to communicate you about the Flutter. And always, if the Flutter thing we do is related to the Liquid Galaxy, will be most of the times, but not all the times. Of course, we will communicate on our website and with our Discord channel for all of you. What else? Last thing is that we are going to have the Flutter contest. It was announced several weeks ago for people that wanted to collaborate on the Liquid Galaxy project to start to make, we will say, points. I mean, earning your rewards to the community to get a GSoC intern. So on the main post, you have information always there. talking that we are already organizing this Flutter interest group in the Liquid Galaxy community. There are something like 15 guys, Alfredo, 15 guys now that are starting to put ideas in a document that what kind of activities we can do. And then the thing I wanted to make you to know is that we are doing that KISS Flutter app development contest. That all the information is on the website. There are something like 10 people trying to port or already develop Java-based laser slice application to Flutter. I say try, but I'm sure they're going to succeed because it's not as difficult. And for this, we also organize, on the screen now, the KISS application that has the objective. Sometimes I just get stuck, but it's because I am just touching the different screens to produce the streaming. As many people is wanting to collaborate with us, we organize a little contest, and then on January 18 in the afternoon we will review the different applications you all contributors have sent us. All the information is here on the website, and then we will give you to the winners some swag from Flutter, unique swag, because not everywhere in the world has a lovely dash or a shirt or other stuff we have for you, okay? So, sorry, those are all announcements for today. And then what's next is to say again, thank you very much to Alfredo for your work today. And we are going to do two things. Alfredo is going to give you a talk. And then after, we will go to the Discord channel, and there in the questions and answers channel, we will answer your queries about anything Alfredo has said in their presentation, and of course anything you can ask him in this moment for the Flutter all the project. I mean, any question you have. Okay, so Alfredo, again, thank you, and the mic and the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Andrew, for your time. I want to say publicly that Andrew has do a lot of job organizing this thing, and it's very thankful for the community, because it's very important to share the knowledge. Okay, so we're going to start about talking about Flutter. I'm going to talk about the Flutter introduction, how works the framework, how is developing in Flutter. A short introduction about Flutter. So if you have some question about Flutter or any slide that I'm going to present, give the question in the Discord channel. Okay, so what is Flutter? A lot of people talk about Flutter, so I don't know if maybe some of you know about Flutter, but I'm going to talk about Flutter. Okay, this slide is first before the other one. Okay, Flutter only is a framework built by Google to develop mobile, web, and desktop apps from a single code base. Okay, it's all the simple. So if you develop in Flutter, you are going to create mobile apps, web apps, and desktop apps from the same code base. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the platform that you want to launch your app. Okay, so there are a few examples of Flutter apps. So you can see there are a lot of different UI that you can create with Flutter. Flutter has no bounded about that you can create with Flutter. So whatever you imagine, whatever app do you want to make, you can do it with Flutter. Okay, the four principles of Flutter is these four principles. The first one is beautiful. Why, or what is the principle beautiful? Beautiful is because you can create whatever UI that you want. Okay, you don't have to use components from the platform that your app is running. Okay, so there are other frameworks or other frameworks that you can only use components built by the system. You can imagine like a old Android app that you create a dialog or a buttons, and you can to follow the buttons in the system. With Flutter, you can build whatever you want, because Flutter use a canvas to build or to paint all the stuff. Okay, so you can create your UI pixel perfect. You can Draw, you can create whatever you want. Okay, so you don't have to use the component system. There are a pre-built widget that you can use if you want to follow like material design or Cupertino design. So you don't have to create all of the widget pixel by pixel, but if you want, you can create whatever you want. In this example, there are like a complex UI from the solar system. So you can see that you can create this with Flutter, only with Flutter. Okay. Other key is fast. Why fast? Because Flutter built their apps in native system in every system that your app is running. Okay. Flutter is going to compile to native in Android, iOS, web, desktop like Linux, macOS, or uh, Windows. Okay, so your performance of the app is going to be very good because it will run like a native system app. So if an user will use your app, they don't feel that your app is built using Flutter or using a multi-platform framework. Okay, so it's a very key point from Flutter, different from other solution in multi-platform frameworks. Okay, other important thing that I love in Flutter and in every talk that I give with Flutter is the productive key. Why is productive? Because you have some tools like Hurry Load and Hurry Start that this tool um, is going to change your application in real time when you are developing your app. Okay. In this example, you can see like there are some code and the developer is making change in the code, and in real time, every time that the developer is saving their project, the app is reloaded without to compile again in every change. Okay, so in the day-to-day of developer, this is very important because imagine you have like a very large app developed in Flutter and you have like 10 screen or a very large onboarding, and you want to change one button in the last page or one text in last page, and you have to compile your app again in every change, and you have to follow the onboarding again in every change. With Flutter, you don't need to do it to do this. You can change your code, and in real time, almost in real time, the change is going to be in your app. Okay, so it's very powerful in the day-to-day as software developer. The last thing, but not the last important, is Flutter is a open source framework. So Google supports Flutter. There are a team in Google supporting Flutter, but it's a open source. There are a lot of people outside of Google that is going to contribute to the framework to fix issues or improving the documentation or making a PR to change any behavior that they don't think that is correct, and you can to contribute your framework. Imagine that you are going to use one component and you don't feel that this is correct. You can create a pull request and you can change this behavior in the next Flutter release. So it's very important because the framework is built by the community. There are some people that is worried about the if Google going to kill Flutter because Google, has some previous project that was killed. With Flutter, I don't think that is going to be because it's open source. So imagine that Google didn't want to support Flutter anytime. The community can support Flutter. All the companies can support Flutter because it's open source. Okay, so this is the four keys of Flutter. So keep in mind that Flutter is beautiful. You can create whatever UI that you want. Is fast because it's going to compile to native code in every platform that is running. It's productive because we have tools like Hurry Load and Hurry Start to see the change almost in real time, and it's open source. You can contribute to Flutter. Okay, who is working with Flutter? Because I talked about native, Flutter is going to compile native, but you don't have to write native code. Okay, we're going to use or we are going to write code in the first layer of this diagram. Okay, so you only have to know about Dart and Flutter. You are going to use Flutter service. You are going to use feeder package. You are going to use Dart code like for your business logic and your AP calls and to create widgets. So you don't have to worry about the other layers in the stack, okay? Because the engine of Flutter is going to traduce your code in Flutter to every native platform, okay? So you can use native code if you want. There are some methods to call native components or native libraries, but almost the all time developing in Flutter, you don't need to write native code. I mean, there are some cases like, for example, to enable notification or to work with, I don't know, GPS or Bluetooth, that you have to write native code. But there are some packages that wrap this part of the code, and you don't have to worry about it. You will use Flutter and Dart code. Okay, so in Flutter, it's very important that everything is a widget. Okay, this is a key concept of the framework to easy understand how is made the framework and how to code in Flutter. Okay, so you are going to be, or you are going to have like a principal or main widget that is your app, material app in the almost in the every case almost, and every widget that is built in your UI, like page, button, text, input, whatever you think, is a widget. Okay, and the widget is going to be the child of the other widgets. For example, you have a material app, the child of material app is a page, and the page has some children about the app bar, buttons, text, columns, etc. So you will, or you have to imagine your app as a family of widgets, okay? Because your app is going to start by a first widget, and you are going to create more widgets as child of the old widgets, okay? It's a very key concept of the framework. To code in Flutter, you have to code in Dart. There are some people ask me about why Dart, because there are some other language like Kotlin, Swift, or JavaScript, or Java that there are a big amount of people coding in this language. But in Dart, there are not too many people coding in Dart. It's because the Dart team and the Flutter team works together to get the best experience in Flutter. Why Dart? Because Dart has a syntax very optimized for the UI. When you will see Flutter code, you will see a very clean code to create a complex UI or a simple UI. It's very easy to understand the layout of the code with Dart. Okay, and Flutter chose this language to get this point. Also, the future that we talked about, Flutter has native code in every platform is because use Dart. Dart is going to compile to every platform as native code. Okay, so you can create CLA with Dart to Linux. For example, there are a lot of projects using Dart to create executables in Linux or Windows or Mac. And this is a beautiful, a very important future to the Flutter, because Dart can compile to product in every platform. And also Dart has these tools like hurry-load and hurry-start to enable this feature in the framework, because this language uses two different ways to compile code: ahead of time and just in time. One is used in the development time to get the hot reload and hot restart, and the other one is used in the compile mode or the release mode to be fast in every platform. Okay, who is coding in Dart? You are seeing this code. This in the left of the screen. There are some Dart code. So if you don't want to install Dart to try Flutter and to try Dart, you can go to dartpad.dev, and there is a web app that you can use to try Dart. You can create Dart and Flutter apps inside your browser. You don't need to install anything. You can go to dartpad.dev, and in this web app, you can start developing code in Dart. And there are a lot of people that using this Dartpad to create like a simple widget to test in every or some of workshop that I did, we used Dartpad to avoid to install to everyone the Flutter framework and the Dart SDK. So if you want to start with Flutter and with Dart, I suggest you to go to dartpad.dev and try in this place. It's very fun that you can code inside your browser. Okay. So in Dart, we have like a centralized system of dependencies. It's called pub.dev. And in this zone, you can search and install package to use in your Dart or Flutter apps. Okay. In this pub.dev website, you can see the contributors of the package, the owner of the package, some star rating of the package, some documentation about the package, use an example, and you can see the trending of this package is if there are a lot of people using and if it's an active project. So it's a very good centralized system package for Flutter. Okay, and to install a dependency in Flutter, there are like a tab inside in every project in pub.dev where you can see how to install a dependency, but it's very easy. You go to pubspec.yaml and you're going to put the name of the dependency and the version of the dependency that you want to use. Okay, so it's very easy to install dependencies in Flutter. After that, you're going to write in your terminal flutter pub get, and you will start to download your dependency to work in your project. It's very easy to get dependencies in Flutter. There are a lot of other frameworks or other native systems that is very tedious to get dependencies in your project. With Flutter, if you try, it's very easy to use dependencies. So an important thing about to start learning Flutter is, okay, Flutter is very good. You say that you can do a lot of things with Flutter. It's very easy to use. There are so amazing tools to develop with Flutter, but Flutter is using in big companies. There are some work with Flutter. So Flutter teams create a page that you can see a lot of companies using Flutter. If you go to flutter.dev/showcase, you can see a lot of projects that are using Flutter for their products. For example, BMW is using Flutter for their mobile app. The mobile app, you can open the car, start the engine, I think, start the light or turn on the light. This product is built in Flutter. So imagine if BMW, that is very premium, it's very, I don't know how to say in English. Yeah, it's a very premium company of cars. Is using Flutter for their products. So imagine. And other like, for example, Alibaba, that is a big company in Asia, is using Flutter for their products. eBay, for example. And if you go into flutter.dev/showcase, you will see a lot of companies using Flutter for their products. For example, Philips, they made their products in Flutter from time ago. And also in Google, they are using Flutter for a lot of apps. For example, in Nest, the smart screen of Google, Nest Hub, and this smart speaker and something like this. If they have a screen, it's powered by Flutter. All the UI is made in Flutter, and there are other products made in Flutter from Google. For example, Google Wallet, if you use in Android, is built in Flutter. And for example, they are going to rewrite Google Maps in Flutter. So imagine there is a big app Google Maps, you can imagine the project, how big is this. They are going to write in Flutter. So Google is using Flutter for a lot of apps, and they are going to make more apps using Flutter. Okay, yeah. So what is the point? I said a lot of apps using Flutter. So you can imagine that you can create whatever application that you want in Flutter, or all of these applications that I'm showing you are written in Flutter. So you can create whatever you want. You don't have to think about limits in your app. You only have to think about how to create a good product for your idea or for your customers. Okay. So there are a big or a good videos about these stories from company that they starting using Flutter, and how these companies made their products in Flutter. How was the experience using Flutter? So this is a mini series called Developer Stories that you can see on YouTube in Flutter official channel that I'm going to post in the last slide. And it's very I don't know how to say it, not funny. It's very good to see how developers start coding in Flutter and they enjoy it, the path of learning Flutter and start using on their products. I recommend you to see this mini series. Okay, so with Flutter we can build mobile apps, we can build web apps, you can build desktop apps, and also you can create embedded apps. What is embedded? For example, if you want to use like a Raspberry Pi, or for example, Toyota is using in their info entertainment system in every car, is made with Flutter. So with Flutter, you can create whatever application you want in every scenario that you want. You don't have to worry about in which platform will run your application. You only have to focus in to get the best experience for the user in your app. You only have to think about the UI, the UX, and the state management, and all the stuff related with the product, not with the platform that your app is going to run. This is a very good point of using Flutter, that you don't have to worry about the platform. Or for example, for a product manager or for a startup, that the point that you don't have to contract or to hire like a single person for Android, single person or a team for iOS, other team to web, other team for desktop, and you have to coordinate every launch from every platform. It's very tedious. With Flutter, you can create a Flutter team, and the Flutter team is going to develop the app and is going to ship to every platform without any change. So for me, it's very important that you understand the potential of using Flutter in your ideas or in your projects. Okay, so I don't think that I'm going to I have to add anything about Flutter, because this is all. It's very simple. It's a framework that they allow you to create beautiful apps in every platform, that you cannot worry about every platform that your app is going to run. So I think that this is all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming to this kind of event to learn Flutter and to start developing Flutter apps, and also in the Liquid Galaxy project that we are going to use for almost every app. So thank you so much to Andreu too for creating this kind of event, and see you in next event. There are my network, my social network, if you want to connect with me, and if you have some question about Flutter, or if you want to know anything about Flutter or projects, works, etc., you can ask me in my Twitter or my X, Alfredo BS 97. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you very much, Alfredo. So now it's the point that people is shy. Not too much questions for now. Let's gonna wait for a while. You know, the problem is that Agenda is always difficult. We have people around the world, and for some of them it's too late. For some of them it's too early. For us, we're in the
Yeah.
middle. So let's wait for some questions.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Usually, yeah, usually they are, I would say, slow. I see Brit here is writing something. Let's wait
Or
for
some
him.
question about GD program or whatever you want to
So
know about Flutter. I don't know.
question for you, Alfredo. First thing, let me
Yeah.
share on the screen. Also on the screen in YouTube the questions. Prithvi is asking you. I would want to know about the backend part of Flutter. Like, is it mainly for frontend? Do you need I have to repeat?
Yeah.
Talk about
No.
the backend part of Flutter, and if it's only mainly for frontend.
Okay. You have to understand that Flutter is a UI framework. Okay. With Flutter, you will build mobile webs or desktop app, only the front part. You can use Dart for a backend service of backend application. There are some projects using Dart for create backend apps, but only Flutter. Flutter is only to build UI apps or front-end apps. Okay, but if you want to use the same language that is using in Flutter is Dart, you can create backend apps using Dart, because Dart is going to compile native to Linux or Windows or your server operative system. So Flutter is only to create front-end apps, and with Dart you can create backend apps.
I think this is the real usual question. Flutter is not a language in the same sense. It's a front end. It's a UX interface. It's some widgets. How do you name it, for example?
Widget component. Yeah.
I mean, it's only the top. So you have to develop the code in Dart. In Dart, of course, it's a language you can go as deep as you want, and then Flutter will help on top of this to develop the user interface. So Ryan is asking, I am starting with Flutter, so sir, should I learn Dart first, and any tips for learning Flutter and starting to contribute into the Liquid Galaxy? I will answer the second part, and the first part for you is, should I learn Dart first, and any tips for learning Flutter?
Okay. I recommend you to start to learning Dart before, because it's like to try to drive a Ferrari without how to know to drive, like a wheel, you have to change your speed. So you need to understand the language of the framework. So if you come from other language like Java or JavaScript, it's very easy to understand Dart. I'm going to share there are a tool like Dart dev tool language or something like this. And if you read this post, is about how works Dart. Okay, how to name a variable, how to use a loop, how to use a conditional. I recommend you to only or at least start reading this post to know about that. That if you know how to program in object-oriented language, it's very too easy to understand that. But I recommend you to start at least reading this article, and after going to with Flutter.
So there is another answer to the previous question. Amit is saying that SQLite is best for Liquid Galaxy project with Flutter. I think so. So let's also make this clear. Not Flutter, that is a database. Those are not databases. So remember, Alfredo, when I invite you to join today, thank you again. We have hundreds of contributors on the Liquid Galaxy. Some of them are starting. Some of them, I would say, they are on very first years of the university. Some are in the last year. Some of them already are developers. So we have many different kinds of people there. So Amit says that SQLite is the best for our projects with Flutter. But again, Flutter is and not Dart is not a database.
Yeah, you can use whatever you want. I mean, you can use SQLite, but
But there's
not
one
the only
question.
one.
There's one question why Ami decided this, and let me also correct a little bit for you. Remember that our projects in the Liquid Galaxy since a few years ago, we only developed for tablets. So there has to be a database that runs on the tablet. We do not allow any kind of cloud database or server-based database.
Yeah.
It has to run on tablet, and this minimizes a lot to the possibilities. So the most used is always SQLite. It's totally standard. It's totally enough for the kind of applications we do, and so on. So the second question from Ryan, the second part was how to start contributing for the Liquid Galaxy. Ryan, again, I think we are all day communicating to you. Always the very first thing you have to do is go to our website. I'm going to share the website again. 1 second. Let me see if I have here the website. It is here. We have a large website because remember we are now for 14 years on this project, but we always have one unique post regarding the Google Summer of Code, and it's the point that we are now in the year, and most of you are interested on GSoC, so there is only one post, and in this post you will find everything. So I have to confess something that's for real. We have a problem. Something that it's still not solved this year, that we have to organize a menu on the top because we have a very large web page, and then it's a little bit difficult to find information because you have to scroll a lot. But in a few days, Mentor Josh will help us, and he will develop a CSS or whatever a menu that will be on top, and then from there you can jump to the page on the different informations. We will arrange this. So for now, it's not too much. Think about that this page is going to grow at least 5 times, at least. So go to our website, Brain, read everything on the website, and if you have any kind of doubt, go to the community. Let me try to find where I can. No, the Discord is already on the screen next to us. So go there, ask in the community. The community will answer you, and if not, me as administrator or any other mentors will answer your questions, okay? And always also you have our liquidgalaxylab@gmail.com email that you can send any question at any time, and you will have an answer. So let's see. I think there is another question coming, but I'm not pretty sure. Someone was writing. Okay. Let's wait for a few minutes. So Tanya says, are there any specific concepts or aspects of Flutter that you found particularly challenging that helped me pay extra attention when learning about it? Something, Alfredo, that you find that, okay, go.
Yeah, I think the big step that when you are learning Flutter from the very basic app to almost a big app, or if you want to create an app with a lot of screens and something like this, you have to understand the state management. What is state management? The state management is the status of your app. So, for example, if your user is logged, or if the app is loading some data, or if you have to display anything, depends of other condition. So one important thing is state management. Flutter has built an state management solution called SetState that you can use for the project, and there are a few projects or a small project using SetState, and it's okay. But when you are going to create a large app, you have to learn other state solution management. I prefer Block, a business logic component that is very good in Flutter. There are a package called Flutter Block that is the port of concept of Block in Flutter. So I recommend if you want to create companies or professional apps using this state management. But in the other hand, it's the most difficult to understand. So I recommend you to take attention to state management, search information about other state management solutions like Provider, GetX, Signals. I don't know. There are some other state management that you can use for Riverpod. that you can use for stage management. So I think the most difficult part of understand about Flutter is state management. So I recommend you to spend some time learning about state management.
Good. Let's wait because Soham also is writing something. Remember that we have always the same thing, Alfredo, that we are talking live in YouTube, but this has to go to the YouTube servers, be ingest, and be to serve around. So there is a delay.
There's some delay.
And when we started today, it was funny because I didn't understand what happened. It was my fault that my YouTube was stopped, and then we already started to send information. So I think today that it was more slow than usual. YouTube is fast, but sometimes it takes a little bit to ingest.
Yeah, maybe Google is using servers for Gemini. They don't have
good point.
They don't have resources
for the artificial intelligence thing. So the question is that maybe in some future we can explore. This is something I have to do on my own. So we can explore to. Because some contributors have asked me if we can have this video too in real time in Discord. I think we can, but they really don't know the technique, and I am more confident in YouTube because I am using YouTube since many years ago. But we will try. We will try to have it at least simultaneously because I don't want to go only Discord, of course. So it's something like going Twitch. We are not going to go Twitch. I mean, you have an URL and then you can go. You can just without using any kind of program, you can see the streaming. We have 2 questions, but those are coming slow.
Yeah, they are thinking about the question. Don't be shy.
So as we are saying this, don't be shy, and I'm pretty sure you are not shy. Let me share something. Okay, we have a question. Soham. Soham question is, I know a bit of Android development, so how should I go about learning Flutter? Like, where should I start? What are the things that are similar and different in Flutter as compared to Android? Where to start in Flutter? And what are the things similar and different versus Android? This is the question.
Okay, so I think if you have some experience in Android, you know how to program in object-oriented language like Java or Kotlin. So to start learning Flutter, you can use the mechanism or I don't know how to say, like the thinking in Java or Kotlin objects, like the Flutter. I recommend you, if you have some experience, try to replicate some project that you built in Android in Flutter. So you only have to understand how Flutter works, like the all is a widget, and the widget you can use to create components. Try with this. Try to replicate any Android project that you built in Android in Flutter. You'll have to install Flutter and try.
Let me ask you. Let me say a point there, Alfredo, is that we already did that. The contest we have for the light keys Flutter applications in Liquid Galaxy is to take our Java developed Android application laser slide something like 4 or 5 years ago. Recode it in Dart/Flutter. So instead of picking any other software, go pick this one, because if you do it well, you also can win some lovely Flutter stuff. You have your own. Show your own. It's over there.
Yeah. The big one.
You have the big one.
Yeah, also the small one, but...
Here is the small one. There's the big one. This is 3D. I sent this to you. It's nice. But Alfredo, I have something I think you don't have. But you are going to have it. Let me show it.
What?
It's something is going to your home as a present for your collaboration. You know, I already told you. Are you ready for this?
Let's see. Wow.
You like
new group.
New group. So...
Flutter Jada.
Yeah. One of these is coming to your house soon.
Thank you.
Sure, of course.
For the presents. For the swag.
We are swag. We have plenty of swag always.
Yeah, we love.
So there is another question from Jinjing. question is, when designing multiple page apps with Flutter, is it a good approach to have one component for each page? What's your preferred approach for handling routing in Flutter?
Okay. The first part of the question about, for example, I create like every page is a widget. So for me, when I develop Flutter apps, every page is a own widget. Okay, and the page will contain a small widget that is related with this page. So the page only have to have the responsibility of to group children's of small widgets and to scaffold or to put in order this widget. In my case, I prefer this approach. And the other question
What's your
was,
preferred approach for handling routing in Flutter?
Okay, for example, there are a good package called Go Routing. It's very good if you want to use. It's very easy to use. But in my case, almost all the project that I use, I prefer to use Navigator in the Navigator component from Flutter. I created some components, some self designed component above this API, about this Navigator, but I usually only use the Navigator API. I create like a component to handle the routes and to navigation, to call from the UI like, hey, Navigator, open this page, and in the Navigator, there are the code to create the page and to use the routers and all the stuff related with navigation. So I prefer to create like a component that the UI is calling like, I'm going to want to this page, and the component has the logic to create this page and to have all the stuff related with the Navigator API.
Good, thank you. Let's wait for any other questions. You're welcome, Jing. I'm not 100. Could you please repeat the name of the package, Alfredo?
The Navigator package?
The package you want for handling routing.
Go router. I'm going to
show it on the screen. I will share the screen.
Okay, Go router.
1 second. I have to. Now it's on the screen. Yeah. On the video, you have the package.
The package. Go router. It's very easy to use, and the documentation is very good. Okay, there are like some break change because the Navigator is like when Flutters become multi-platform. There are some issues between Navigator in mobile and Navigator in web and Navigator in desktop. There are different scenarios, so they have to reunite it. All these things from the different platforms. So, but nowadays very stable. So you can go there and see the documentation, how to navigate in web, or deep linking. That's a very good point. Name routers, error handling. This package is very completed if you want to use in your app, and very easy to use.
Okay, there is another question coming. We have to wait. So, for example, Alfredo, could you please answer this? So, when you develop for Flutter with Dart, what are the databases are you using if it's in local?
Yeah, for example, I use Hive. Hive is the name. There is like I don't know. It's no SQL database. Hive. No, it's no SQL.
But you can run database. It on a tablet. In Dart. Hive.
In this they support Android, iOS, Linux, MacOS, web, and Windows.
Everything.
Almost all platforms. So depends of which platform is compiled. They use like local storage in web, or maybe
it depends on
in Android use. Yeah.
Okay. It depends on the platform, but this is local also in Dart. It is a package. It's a Dart package. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about in each platform that, for example, in web is using local database, call it whatever name, or in Android using files, or
And
in iOS
let me ask you
using
another
package chain.
question in your
Yeah,
personal opinion as professional. So Hive is a non SQL. So I
yeah,
always say to the students that they have to start with SQL. SQL is something like very old. It's something like, I would say, like 30 or 40 years old, but it still is one of the main databases, kind of databases. Language, because it's
yeah.
the query language. So what do you prefer? Going pure SQL, no SQL, or any other?
As my opinion, I mean, we are going to code like in the front. So if you have to create like a database, you have to create like a very lightweight database because it's in the front. So if you want to go deeper because you have like a large structure of data and you usually have, and your schema has a lot of things, it's better to go to the backend and to the front. Don't worry about these structures. Like, I'm going to call an API. I'm going to save this data of the user. I don't want to know how is it stored. So for a small project or for a small data you are going to save in the front, I prefer NoSQL. It, but also
By the
works
way, do you know
SQL.
that
Yeah.
you're looking at the other camera, not at the camera you're showing? The camera is
Yeah,
this one.
yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah, because I have this screen
Yeah,
and
yeah,
also
yeah,
this.
yeah. I have many here also. So we have another question from B. Sorry, I can read your name. Hello, Mentor Alfredo. Lovely session. Thank you. How often do you see Flutter in scalable scenarios, like with Spring Boot and all? In terms of scalability, does it scale better than native apps?
Well, I mean, I think that the scalability depends of the people working in the project. I mean, you can create a very bad app in native code and very good app in Flutter. On in the other hand, the same. You can create a very bad app in Flutter and very good app in native code. The scalability of the project depends of the technique that you are going to use in the project. If you coding like following a clean architecture practice or a very well ordinated code, it's up to you. Like, Flutter doesn't have any limitation about the size of the app, so it depends of your practice in organizing code, the performance practice to avoid to a lot of rebuilds and using a lot of resource to display an page or whatever you want. So, as my point of view, depends of your coding practice. Flutter doesn't have any limitation about the scalability. So you can create a very large apps, and also, for example, Google Maps. I think Google Maps is a very large right in Flutter. So Flutter doesn't have any limitation with the scalability of your apps.
So,
Depends of your code.
same person is asking that, as we talk about databases, is MariaDB a feasible option when we consider the scalability aspect?
But MariaDB is going to run in the backend.
That is, I answered already. You have to excuse me. Let me try to see your name. Your name is B. I don't know what is your name. Maybe it's B. Dot. People uses very crazy names as nicknames, so I can address you.
Use I don't know how to say readable names.
Something more readable. So the
Yeah.
answer, Maria, no Maria, B. I said this before. So in the Liquid Galaxy project from a few years ago, we tried to develop applications running on Android tablets. This means that you can only use technology that will be able to run on Android tablets. This means that you have a shorter selection on databases, and you cannot use in our project external databases. This now is something that we can talk about, but usually we do not allow external cloud services. Why? Because there are many problems with maintaining the code and maintaining some services
Yeah, the
outside
complexity.
without the budget also. Then we took this approach a few years ago that we want to develop for tablets. We prefer it to be developed in Flutter, but we will also, of course, accept Kotlin, even in Java. But for years, we have been developing many other languages, like, of course, Python, you name it, whatever you want. But we prefer this scenario. all the applications running on a tablet, so you cannot use MariaDB. Let's wait for a few seconds because I think you have to leave, Alfredo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have like 10 minutes more.
Okay. I
5
think it
minutes.
should be less because at least for now. See, there is another question from Jinjin. When I say tutorials on YouTube, I see people use a class just for holding constants for fonts, colors, and stuff, like a const Dart file. Will you say this is an anti-pattern and we should always handle styling using Flutter themes?
Okay. Dart is like object-oriented programming language. So, Flutter developer, we usually use a class to handle of these constant and variants. There are a lot of approaches. You can use a .environment file, and you can use a JSON to handle the variables and get from in Dart from the CLI. I prefer to do this. Maybe it's an anti-pattern, but in Flutter it's very useful that have a class with all the constant and get in your code. With the theming, it's almost the same. Yeah, you are going to create like a component to handle your light and dark themes, and you are going to consume in your Flutter app. So for me, maybe it's an anti-pattern, but they don't have any problem to use in Flutter. And it's a very simple solution to handle this. So I don't see any problem to use like this.
Good. So I ask for the last question. Let's see if there is someone that wants to ask the last question. And if not, we will close this session. It's been 1 hour. And for now, for today, is enough. Remember, we will wait that we have, let me show you in the screen, we have some other training sessions coming. And the next one is, let me see, next one is on December 19. Okay, Jinjit, you got it. December 19, that Victor Carreras will also give us another learn how to test in Flutter. So perfect.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very important thing.
Yeah, it's important always to test. Victor, works in a very large company, world company, and then testing is 110% needed. So there is no project without testing. So, and also we have Josh making us a training our user experience UX with in-app development. Of course, he will talk about Flutter. This will be December 20. So December 19, December 20, and December 23. Still, we have a review session of Laser Slides app conversion to Flutter, because as many of you are already starting to develop the Flutter version of the Laser Slides, and before the last day for presenting the application, we want to offer you some kind of recommendation about if you're going nice or not about the user interface. I don't know, Alfredo, if you're going to have pretty views on December 23, but if you want, you can join us in this session. It will be something like an hour, but it's not a must. And then also, again, and this will be 2024, Victor will come again with Advanced Flutter Project Management on GitHub. And this is not the last thing. So we have the January 18, the GIS apps in Flutter. So plenty of Flutter stuff. What does Flutter, Alfredo, have that we are doing as much things, and everyone loves Flutter? Every day we receive, I will say, dozens of emails from contributors around the world, and they say, "I'm crazy about starting to develop. I don't know about Flutter, but I want to start to know and to develop with you about Flutter." So what's going on in the world?
I think that the developer experience, that when you try Flutter and you see that you can create beautiful apps and very simple to use, and it's very easy to start, like getting dependencies run in your device and all of this stuff installing Flutter, and you see like I created a large app in like 3 hours or 4 hours, very easy, and I can deploy this app in web or in desktop or mobile. So for me, it's very amazing. Like when you feel this thing that I can create whatever I want, and I can deploy in every site.
No, that's true. When you see the same application running on different platforms. I will have a last question from Jinjing. She says that, what is your favorite library for state management? Will it be provider or some newer library like Riverput, since a lot of people are shifting away from provider?
Yeah, I prefer Flutter block because I'm going to put in the screen. Why Flutter block? Flutter block, there are a lot of people that is confused about Flutter block and block. Block is the pattern, okay? It's like a Redux pattern and the client in React or other stuff like this. So Flutter block is like a port of a client of the idea of business logic component. I'm going to explain very short because it's a very maybe an intermediate thing or about things about Flutter. You have a component with a business logic. The UI doesn't know about the business logic. And there are a repository with external data that doesn't know about the logic. So you are going to communicate with UI using events to your business logic component. The business logic component is going to call to the repository. The repository fetch the data, and the block is going to tell the UI with a state that what is the status of the data. So the UI doesn't have to know about how to get the data, how to control the errors, how to fetch anything about is going to go to an API call or is going to a database in local. The UI only go to, hey, I need this data. And the business component, the business logic, doesn't have to know about if the UI have two buttons, the UI have two inputs, or the UI have anything. The business component only go to the UI saying something like that, like it's loading, it's ready, has some error, and the UI have the logic of the code to create the UI depends of the state of your app. Okay, so if you go there, I think there are a lot of examples. The library is very well documented and is used in a lot of projects. But if you go to the block library.dev, I think I'm going to go to here. There are the concepts of the library, and it's about this. It's only I don't know if in dark mode it's going to see very well.
No, it was good. It was good.
Okay. So this is the point. The UI only have to say hey, I want to fetch this data, and the block has the logic to fetch this data, and the block is going to say, hey, I have this data, or this data is unavailable, or there are some error, but this component doesn't have to know about how the UI is composed. Okay, so this differentiation about the UI and about from the UI and the logic is very important in larger apps. So I prefer to use Flutter block. And also the testing is very easy with this approach, and there are a lot of packages related with Flutter block. So it's very easy to use, and the concept of the architecture of the project will be very, very good.
Fantastic. That was the last question. So thank you all the contributors that were on Discord asking questions to Alfredo. Again, Fredo, thank you very much for helping us.
You're welcome.
Joining the contributors, and we will continue doing that thing. And again, welcome to the community, and see you. Thank you for your time.
Very happy. I'm very happy to be part of this community.
Okay, so everyone, could you please share your first slide? Just I will announce it for people that can see your references. If you want to share.
Yeah, I think this one or my
your contact. Your contact.
Okay, in the last one. Yeah, I'm going to presentation.
I'm sharing it. So for a few seconds, and we will end. Jinjin says totally forgot about block. Thanks for the suggestion. Good.
Okay.
So again, see you all next time on the Liquid Galaxy streamings, and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.